Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Project Freelance. We're on a roll. We're doing some podcasts right now. We're getting in the groove right now. It's almost about to be fall. I'm feeling good. We're feeling good. But this is Project Freelance. This is a podcast all about freelancing or just being a creative person, right? Like, I don't just talk to people that build businesses. I talk to creative people because, one, I'm fascinated by things. I'm curious by nature, and I sometimes come across someone's art and I say, oh my gosh, I need to ask so many questions about how you made this and what inspired you. And that is the case today on the podcast. I'm speaking with a guy named Chris. His username on Instagram is IamNotAPenguin7. And I'm very excited to have him share his story with you. This guy's just like a creative dude. He does coding and like programming and stuff for his day job, but he has a camera. He doesn't really consider himself a photographer. He just says, like, I'm a photographer in the way that if you have a camera, you're a photographer. Like, that's how he feels. I think he's a creative artist and he's doing some really unique stuff. My friend Justin, my best friend Justin, he showed me one of his like series on Instagram and I immediately was like, oh my God, you know this guy? And Justin was like, yeah, that's the homie. Like, we played Pokemon Go together. And I was like, okay, I need him to come on my podcast. I have so many questions. And then he connected me with Chris. Chris was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Seems interesting. And so we did a podcast together, and that's what you're about to listen to. But this is Project Freelance, where my curious mind leads to podcast interviews and cool conversations. Welcome to the show. So yeah, I'm super excited to bring you guys into this episode this week with Chris. I mean, his story is really fascinating, and the way he creates his, compositions and his photography projects is really cool. And the way it came about is quite just like random and silly, and that's kind of what makes me love it even more. But before we get into the episode, just a few housekeeping things. If you're new to Project Freelance, please hit the subscribe button. I have really amazing creative people on from the music industry, from the photography world, from corporate environments, like all sorts of different types of guests. This is not like it's niche in the way that it's freelancing, but it's not niche as in like the subject matter. I'm just curious and I want to get better at running my business and being a better, more excited. Like, I'm trying to find ways to be creative in my own way through this podcast, through talking to unique, interesting people. And that's the case with today's podcast. So if you're interested in learning more, not only about running a business, but also the creative side of life, this is the podcast for you. And if you have been listening to Project Freelance for several weeks, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. But also, if you do like what you hear on this show, please leave a rating and feedback. It does help the podcast grow. As you guys know, if you are an avid podcast listener, the ratings and the feedback really does help us find more listeners that are like yourselves that are, interested in this kind of stuff. So if you would be so kind, please leave a rating and feedback. Other than that, there are several things down in the description of this episode that if you want to support me as a creator, or if you want to hire me for something, photo, video, drone, whatever, editing, whatever it may be, all my information is down below. And if you have a unique story or an interesting business, hit me up. My email's down in the description. Would love to have you on a future episode of this show. I'm always looking for unique characters. So if you're interested, hit me up. I'd love to have you on. But without further ado, let's dive into this episode with Chris. I am not a penguin. I love his username. Chris, welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself and what you do to the Project Freelance audience.
I am Chris. I am not a penguin 7. I'm loosely a photographer. Like, I have a camera and I take pictures of things, and they're kind of artistic. People seem to like it. So I've been doing it for a minute now. And that's pretty much it. I write like weird captions, generally because I don't know what to say. And also because, like, I feel like if you have a caption that is like, oh, sadness or something like that, not to shade people who do that, like, do your own thing, everything's subjective. But like, if you have a caption like that, I feel like you're telling people how to feel about the picture. And I want people to, take their own feeling away from the stuff that I make. So instead, I write captions about how I don't want to take karate lessons because I'm afraid of getting punched in the face or some other dumb shit. So yeah, that's what I do. That's me. Hi,
Amazing.
I'm Chris.
Amazing. Well, hey, Chris, thanks for coming on. So for the listeners, I was shown an image set of Chris's by my best bud Justin, who's also a photographer. And he told me you guys met playing Pokemon Go. Is that correct?
That's true. That's true. I used to be a super Pokemon tryhard. And like, dude, back in the day, like, I don't know, like 2018 or something, somewhere in there.
It was really like popping. Yep.
Bro, it was like gang fights. Dude, it was like red team versus blue team.
Yeah,
you better not come to my territory. You know, like all shit. Now, like, I'm about that, dude. Like, I'm super competitive. So yeah, I went pretty hard on it. And I met Justin, and he was super competitive too. And like, you know, definitely one of those like, I need you to help me take down this gym. I need your support, you know, blah blah blah. So those were good times. Yeah, like Justin and I battled it out in the trenches. We're it's like band of brothers shit. We're friends for life now. Yeah.
He's one of the only people I know that plays every day still. Like every day, like
it's his job.
It's like his job. Like he should be getting paid for the amount of hours.
Yeah, no, he should be like a Pokemon like influencer or something.
He would. I think that might be like the thing he needs to do. You know,
dude,
like, I don't know
it's
why.
The missing component.
100%. Like, just film your stream or something. Like, he goes to fucking like the worlds in Japan. Like, he's about that life.
Right? Like, dude, he's building an entire, like, he builds vacations around it. Like, well, I gotta go there, I gotta go there. And he's also, like, he's a very personal guy, you know? He's a good conversation. So, like, no, Justin, I'm sure you're hopefully listening to this. What if he's like, my best friend's talking to my other friend, but I'm not gonna listen to that shit. Whatever, I'm busy. I'm playing Pokemon, bro.
I'm
what are you talking about?
Fucking Megazord. I don't know any Pokemon.
Yeah, it's Charizard Day. You didn't know? Actually, low-key, real talk, I'm like, after we're done with this, I'm going to go out and play Pokemon because this is where it gets like sad. My mom was super into Pokemon too, and she died, and like her dying wish was that I finish her account for her. And she's like level 49, and so I've got to get, like, I guess they're going to do something with the XP level, like the max level or something sometime in October. So another one of our mutual friends was like, dude, you better get on your mom's account. You better like finish up the, you know, all that XP that you have to do. So like the past couple of weeks I've turned into like, you know, Pokemon tryhard grinding guy again. But it's been that's been its own like little adventure. Like honestly, like, you know, I'm so in awe of Justin. I have been doing like all this like walking around playing lately, and I'm like, man, I fucking believe I used to do this for fun. Are you serious? Like, oh, I gotta walk all the way over there now. Jesus. You know,
it's so funny. We were like walking to like we were just on tour, and he was doing photo video for us, and it was so funny because I was like, well, we're passing through Waco, Texas. I have to go to the Dr. Pepper Museum. It's like that's my fucking Disneyland. I had never been. I was like, we gotta go. We pull up. I parked the van. We get out, and the rest of the guys are like, oh, we're gonna walk to In-N-Out because like that's cool. And I was like, okay. So I was like, Justin, you have to come with me because like, hello, we just have to do this. So we're like walking there, and he's like, I wonder if there are any Pokemon here. I'm like, oh my god, bro, do not take my Disney for me with your Pokemon gym. There was a gym, so he had to like get in the gym. Oh my
god, of course,
which like, God bless, I love that he loves it so much. But yeah, he should definitely like do it in a way that can like, you can make money off of that shit. But I know his mentality is like, not everything has to be about money, but like my brain is like, but it could be.
Yeah, definitely.
And
like
then it will pay for your like trips to Japan to go play.
It could. He could be that guy. He could be that guy.
And
Justin.
he's like just a fun guy. He's a fun guy. He like have you seen Big Hero 6?
I have not.
Okay, well, you need to watch it because I swear to God, he got turned into an animated character in that movie. He's literally a character in that. I swear to God, like same beanie, cargo shorts, t-shirt.
That's
like,
so cool.
It's just
if he has on a Spice Girls shirt in the movie, then if I'm Justin, I'm suing. You know what I mean? Like
suing. Oh my God, so funny. Okay, so
all right, that's what's up. So Justin, yeah, if you're listening, definitely change careers. What are we doing here, bud?
What are we doing? Switch it up. Let's go. Okay. So he showed me your ATM series. And for people that are listening, please just scroll along on the Instagram as we do a deep dive. We're basically just going to do a slideshow presentation, like a keynote presentation, because I got to know how the hell your brain is like, this is a cool idea. Okay, so okay, so first of all, your captions are absolutely incredible, like just amazing. I mean, make me giggle, make me want to like go make shit. They're just fun, right? But
I appreciate it.
yeah, so he showed me this ATM series. He was like, "Oh yeah, my friend Chris, he like, found an ATM." I was like, first of all, how do you acquire an ATM? That bitch is heavy. They're not
oh my
light,
God, right?
And you drag this thing into like the desert and like just put it in like random. Okay, so can you just tell me first of all, what made you start doing these like creative photography projects? Like what was the thing that like inspired you to like create shit like this?
That's a good question. I started dude, I have ADHD, so I'm going to give you the let's take 25 steps backstory.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Well, I was born in 19 no. So yeah, long story short, like earlier this year, my best friend had jury duty, and he didn't have a ride. He's like family of four, and they're splitting like just a couple of cars. So I was like, yeah, but I'll drive you to jury duty, like no big deal. And so it was like one of those things where I had to kind of go far away and drop him off, and then kind of like make time for a little bit for a little while to try to wait around, because I didn't want to come all the way back home and then go all the way back to get him. So there was like a mini golf course near where he was doing jury duty. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go play mini golf by myself. By the way, going to a mini golf course in the middle of the day just as a single adult male, totally not sketchy at all. One, please. Yeah, but it was fine. But the mini golf course is actually pretty cool for photography. And they have like a lot of little models and shit set up. But then in the parking lot, they had like some dumpsters. And I'm the type of person, I just walk around with a camera and take pictures of everything. Here's like a big secret to photography for people who are like, how did you get that shot? Well, if you just take a picture of literally everything you see, then some of them will be good. It's the shotgun effect, right?
Yep.
So there were some dumpsters in the parking lot, and I was like, oh, let me get a picture of these dumpsters. Maybe I'll want some trash cans later. And so like later on, when I was like reviewing the photos, I was like, oh, those trash cans look like they're friends. And I was like, oh, I should do like a photo series of just like trash cans that are friends, which like sounded like really stupid, but like I brought it up to a couple of people and they're like, that's really chill. And so that turned into me being like, okay, like I have a project now, I can go out in the world. So I spent like just like 2-3 weeks, I don't know, something like that. I only spent a couple of hours like editing them and pulling together. I did go back through some of my old photos. Like I said, I take pictures of everything. Went back through some of my old photos and found like other times that I had taken pictures of like two trash cans together. But now like I just went out on these adventures like looking for trash cans, and it was a lot of fun. I work from home, so I'm always like looking for a reason to leave the house and shit. And so just went out looking for trash cans and going hiking and finding like two of them together on a hiking trail and being like, oh, that's my guys. Definitely set me up a couple of like weird alleys. Definitely saw a homeless dude whacking off between two trash cans.
Where's that photo? What the fuck, man?
I didn't want to put that one up on Instagram. I'm trying to keep it family friendly. But you better believe he put his junk away when I took my camera out. But it's like, oh, come on, dude. I mean, if you're already whacking off between the trash cans, like, homie, just live it. Just live it. Yeah, so that post of like the trash cans that were friends turned out like, I don't know, people liked it and I had fun doing it. Yeah. So I wanted to do more projects like that. And then around the same time, I made some friends with people on Instagram that were into like cosplay and shit. Sure. And one of them, Annie Graves, she and her partner Sean do these like really complex like scene-based shoots of like them in like Fallout cosplay. Shout out to Annie Graves on Instagram. I wanted to do stuff like that. I was like, then like these like big like highly produced souls. And so then I found out I was really bad at it. Like, oh my God, making those props and shit, that's like a whole fucking thing on its own, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you gotta know like how to use like glue and shit. I'm like, oh, bro, like this is way beyond me. This is way beyond me. So that turned into like, well, I'm just gonna try to buy shit, you know, and like take pictures of it. It's like way more my speed. So I don't know. I bought a bunch of like neon signs and drove around doing the same thing, going out on adventures, doing shit like that, and had a bunch of fun doing that. And that brought me to the ATM. The ATM, I don't know, I was scrolling offer up, and some dude had, there was a couple of different ATMs on OfferUp, but this dude had one that was like kind of in my price range, and it had a couple of things wrong with it.
Sure.
And so it was one of those, like I went down to meet with the guy, and he was like, yeah, you know, this will be, you can get this machine back up and running, and you know, it'll be a good moneymaker for you. It just, I forget what was wrong with it. I think it was like the cash counter or something like that, and the scanner or something. Yeah. He's like, you got to get this new piece, and it's like $500 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I just cut him off. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to bury this shit in the ground. You know, like, this dude, I'm going to shoot bottle rockets at this thing. Like, I had like all these grand plans for different things. I was actually, the photos that ended up making it into the post were like way more scaled down from what I had planned on doing, but mainly because of like what you articulated. Like, dude, it was like a lot of listing for that guy, loading him in and out of my tiny little Chevy Bolt, and
driving around with an ATM.
So yeah, that's pretty much how it came about, just by accident, just taking my, I mean, this is the longest explanation of my life, but
it's a podcast.
Definitely, yeah, taking my my best friend to jury duty changed my life. Yeah, and now I'm here with you.
And here we are. Wow.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I'm just like rereading the captions on like the ATM post, and it's great that you like break down like kind of like a synopsis of each like shoot, like each shot, right? Like how you know, taking an ATM for a walk is fucking hilarious. It's so,
dude, that one worked on some Karens. Dude. Not gonna lie, yeah, I got some laughs out of like, just take my ATM for a walk, because there's like no way to be casual.
You can't.
And also, like, most of the time I'm wearing like, you know, like kicks and a hoodie and shit, so I already don't look like super like I should be having an ATM on a dolly.
You have no business.
You know, seriously. And I had printed up these signs for it that said like photo prop, but like, you know, just you print something on paper, like it gets torn on the first time, and so I don't know, those worked a couple of times. When I put it out in the water, the signs fell off in the water and got like all mushy and shit, and so I was like, oh, I can't use those anymore. And then the next day I did the shot of it with the split tree, and it didn't have the signs on the side for the first time, and somebody called the fucking cops. So shit happens, you know. But they thought it was funny.
The cops?
Know. Yeah, they laughed in my face. Yeah.
I mean, they can be pretty, if it's like a warranted laughing moment, they're pretty silly. Like, yeah. Like, I almost got arrested at the airport the other day.
You're the bombardier.
I'm the bombardier. Yeah. I'm the bombardier. For listeners, it was a whole situation. The TLDR is that I was walking onto an aircraft that literally said the aircraft name on the side in bold black letters. We have video proof. It was a bombardier. It's French Canadian. I'm not French Canadian, so I'm going to say it phonetically how I read it. Bombardier. Flight attendant.
Wait, is there a different way to pronounce that?
It's French. Bombardier. I don't fucking know. Whatever. It's a bombardier, okay?
Yeah, that's it. So real.
Some family like made these aircrafts and then sold their fleet to Skyjet, and they decided to just keep the fucking family name on the side of the jet. And so I said the name. I was like, oh, it's a small two-seater, like 2-seat by 2-seat bombardier, to my group that was boarding this flight with me. The flight attendant only hears me say, it's a bomb.
I mean, dude, you could have been talking about literally anything. Been like, oh yeah, this ice cream cone is bomb. You know what I mean?
Crazy because I got the report, like the case file, like I have the case number. I just got the report yesterday, and like it has like the flight attendant's name and the other and the pilot's name. Like it has everyone's information, their addresses, their phone numbers. Like it's crazy. But this flight attendant that heard me say this was like a young guy, like definitely LGBT mafia, like myself. But first of all, why are you attacking the alphabet mafia like that, sir? But secondly, like he was so young that it was like, are you old enough to have this job? Type of young, bro. Like literally, is this breaking child labor laws situation? Like he was young. Maybe he just looks young, whatever. But I think it was like, a few days into his job as a flight attendant. And so he misheard something and was like, oh my gosh, I need to tell my superior, told the other flight attendant who's like an older lady. And she was probably like, of course I'm speculating, but she was probably like, honey, we're going to get you a win today. So this turns into, we all sit down. We're like waiting to like taxi back from the gate. We're just like chopping it up, and we're like in the back of the plane, right? We're like talking about this music festival we're about to go play, big ass festival in Madison, Wisconsin. And then I noticed that it's getting like warm on the plane, so I was like, okay, maybe there's an issue with like the electrical whatever. They come on
trying to heat the bomb up.
They come on the loudspeaker and they're like, hey, we need everyone to deplane, grab all your belongings and deplane. And I was like, okay, it's clearly a mechanical issue because I noticed it was getting warmer. I was like, cool. So we grab all our stuff. And everyone goes out before me, and then I'm the last of our group. So I walk out. There's a cop on the jet bridge, and he points at me, and he goes, I need you to come with me. And I was like, for why? So I'm in my brain, like, playing back the entire day.
I'm like, what did I done?
What did I say? I've been flying for 32, my whole life, right? 32 years of life. I've been, like, the poster child for a good flyer. Like literally earlier in the day, Justin was talking some shit, like saying like not airport friendly things. I don't remember what he said, but I was like, hey,
I literally go drop some bombs in the toilet and shit.
Something like that. I was like, hey, maybe let's not joke about that type of stuff at the airport. I literally said this to his face, and he goes, they don't care, it's fine, haha. And then I get pulled, and I'm like, was it because I talked shit about the really obese guy that was like spilling over into my seat on the last flight? But like the guy, he was in the middle seat, I was in the window seat, there was a guy in the aisle seat. I fell asleep before we even took off on that flight. Come to find out, when we landed and I woke up, the dude that was in the aisle seat, he moved before we took off. But homie decided to stay in the middle seat and just to consume half my seat.
Oh.
And so I was like, fuck that guy.
God, that should
whatever.
be straight to jail.
For
you should have
sure.
looked at the cop and been like, you're looking for him.
Yeah, you got the wrong guy. You got the wrong guy. So anyway, so I was like, was it because of that? Whatever. So we get up the jet bridge. He's like, all right, come with me. Takes me over to the side in like the hallway walking path. Everyone on the flight is standing around staring now because they're like, what the fuck? They built bleachers on the side, just got to know.
Oh, just so it's like, a little show now.
For sure.
Yeah.
So there's like 4 other cops there, and they pull me over, and the guy's like, the lead guy, the whatever agent dude is like, what did you say on the plane? And I'm like, what did I say on the plane? I was like, I said we were going to play this festival. Like, I hope catering's good. Like, what did I? You tell me, because I don't know. Like, you let me know, and I will verify. And he goes, the flight attendant heard you say it's a bomb. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh my God. I was like, see, what had happened was, I was like, no, dude, the aircraft is a bombardier. I was just telling my group that it's a small bombardier plane. I've never seen cops like almost piss themselves laughing. Like, literally, like, oh my God. And so dude got on his walkie-talkie and he was like, what's the aircraft name? And then while we're like settling down the fucking, pilot and the flight attendant, the head of TSA, like the lead, this is Mr. TSA.
So this got elevated.
It got elevated. So Mr. TSA comes over and he's like, hey, so we might need to take you for additional screening. I just need to go talk to the gate agent and everybody. And we might have to get the canines to sweep the plane. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like, this is beyond, like, now we're bringing in resources from, like, taxpayers. And, like, now it's a situation. Yeah. And so I'm like, bro, this is what like, this is goofy, basically. So TSA guy goes away, and I look at the cop, and I was like, hey, what do I do? Like, from a legal stand, like, what do I do? Because I literally haven't done shit. And, like, I know TSA can, like, find stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if they, like, additionally screen you. And I was thinking they were going to take me, like, off-site to, like, a separate place.
Never go to the second location.
Right. Don't go to the second location. And meanwhile, my TM is, like, from New York. So he's, like, ready to pop off on these people. And I'm like, bro, please, just for me, like, do not do this because I will end up arrested and you will end up arrested and then we're fucked. Like, we can't be doing this. Real. So he was like, okay, I'll let you handle it. So TSA guy comes back over and he's like, wait, this is over because you read the aircraft name? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, I'm going back to my office.
Dude, your only crime was knowing how to read.
I was like, God forbid I'm fucking literate. Okay.
Dude.
So just an insane out of a movie situation. But they had to, like, file the case because, you know, there was an incident, even though it wasn't real. And I'm telling this cop, I'm like, dude, like, I get it. I understand. Like, I'm empathetic. Like, I know that TSA and, like, fucking flight attendants have to deal with, like, the stat is, like, 1,000 reports a week, which is insane.
Oh, wow.
So I'm, like, empathetic to the fact that it's a crazy time to be on planes right now. But, like, homie could have just asked me, like, sorry, what did you say? You know, like, it would have been done before it even started.
Yeah. No, I mean, maybe that's a lesson in diffusing the situation.
Right.
Like, hopefully that dude learned some kind of lesson that day.
I hope so. But, like, the point being, like, I was like, cool, can we get back on the plane? And so the cop has to go, you know, talk to the pilot and stuff. The flight attendant said, I can't get back on the plane because now he's upset that I was right and he was wrong. And the pilot was like, I won't let this person back on the aircraft. Delta didn't ban me. They didn't, like, put me on a list. Like, I'm good. They literally handed me a ticket for the next flight, just a different plane. So, like, literally
was that also a bombardier?
Probably. I don't fucking know. I was like, I'm just not going to speak.
The names of planes
I'm like, I'm not going to speak for the rest of the time. But because there was a case file, right? There's, like, a case number and everything. I told the cop, I was like, dude, like, this was a non-issue. We all know that. But I have clearance through SpaceX and NASA to film rocket launches. If this fucks my clearance, I'm suing the fuck out of everybody. Because, like, this could actually, like, affect my life.
Real, yeah.
Over nothing. So, like,
over literally nothing.
Literally nothing. Negative. Like, less than nothing, right? So anyway, I texted the cop, you know, because he has a cell on the card, and I was like, hey, like, thank you for your help today. Basically, he was like, if they don't let you fly today, like, I will drive you to this festival. Like, he was fucking cool. So I just texted him. I was like, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you ever want to come to a show, I got you for life, bro. He texted me back. He was like, I haven't been to a show since the 90s. Like, I might hit you up. And then he tops it off. If you ever need MSP, Minneapolis State Police, like, whatever, the fucking police. If you ever need us, hit me up. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, we went from almost arrested to, like, having a hookup, like, in the police force.
Dude, you'd be like, yeah, I need one of those armed escorts.
Yeah, I was like, I need
like,
the
I'm
whole
somebody super big. How about that?
But it's crazy how, like, but to the point of, like, sometimes cops can be chill, but, like, sometimes they cannot. It just depends on who you're dealing with. But back to your photography projects and, like, the ATMs. I just had to go on the side tangent.
No, real.
Insane.
Dude, you should change your name to, like, Billy Bombardier now.
Bro, we're making bomber jackets and I'm designing them right now. My tour nickname is now the Mighty Small Bombardier.
That's what's up. That's so chill.
Fully embraced. My nickname is the Terrorist. It's trouble. Like,
dude. You should get that. You should send pictures of that to the flight attendant.
I'm gonna
make a fake ID that says the small bombardier. Send a picture of that to the Bro, I mean, like, dude, just lean into it so hard.
Clearly, there's no sense of humor on the side of the flight attendant, but that's, you know, it's okay.
I mean,
It's
that's just, I
very
mean, like
funny.
you said, like, dude was probably super young.
Super
And
green, was just trying
yeah.
to like do his job, and like I get it, but also like if you fucked my career, I'm gonna sue you. I'm suing you.
Yeah, yeah, because you have your hand in like a lot of
A
different
lot.
directions. There's a lot to lose there. You were the little kids that when they were like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And you're like, "Rock star, pilot. I want to be all of
Everything,
it." Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
And they were
yeah,
like, you
yeah.
need to like calm down. I was like, no. We're doing side quests until they become the plot line, okay? That's the way.
That's what's up.
All I
That's
know.
what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, I mean, like that person who is making an incident. I know we're not supposed to dwell on this. That person who's
Right.
making an incident out of it doesn't take into consideration like how much you have to lose on it. So
Right.
that means nothing, right?
Exactly. They're just like, I'm doing my job and keeping people safe. But like,
Yeah.
you use these resources that could have been used for like something that actually was real. But like, you didn't know.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand. But like, it's literally a non-issue. But
Yeah.
so you started with these dumpsters on just a happenstance helping a friend out. And then you
Yeah.
were like, I'm going to purchase an ATM. Like, why an ATM? You were literally just scrolling OfferUp and you were like, that could be fun.
Well, I definitely am one of those people who just buys a lot of dumb shit without understanding why I'm doing it.
I love it.
And much to the dismay of my loving family, who are like, "What is this? Why?
Why do
That's
you
not
have
coming in the
this?" Yeah.
house." Is a fair refrain that I
Yep.
hear around here. Actually, right now I'm working on a post for like Halloween, and
Oh, yes, let's go.
I have this like kind of like elephant man skeleton that lights up. It's like full size, but it's like if imagine a skeleton but with somebody who was like, this needs more bones. So they just like bought a bunch of animal bones and like, glued and screwed it on. So he looks super crazy. And
Love it.
yeah, I brought that home, and my wife was like, oh, that lives in the yard. Definitely. Like that's never going to exist in our house.
You're
And
like
so,
in the front yard though, right? Like not hidden in the back.
we're not going to be ashamed of Bonesy, are
Yeah, we gotta put Bonesy on the display.
yeah, straight out. So, but the ATM, yeah, I was scrolling off up and seeing this dude selling it, and I was like, how weird would that be if I just bought that? And like, I wonder how big it is. Do you think it would fit in my little car? Like, and it just, dude, by the way, barely,
Oh my
just
God.
barely. Like, it's one of those things where I had to move the seat all the way up and be like, giant man in little
So
car
good.
driving around with like the steering wheel touching my chest, which
Yeah.
also on its own was like comical,
Sure. Just clown car
but
shit.
yeah, clown car shit. But I mean, we do what we do for our art, right? So yeah, I was like, well, I don't think I've ever seen somebody just use an ATM as as a model for like moody shots. I don't really work with people. And so it's better if I can find something that is unique, and that I could use for as my model in the modeling shots. And so, yeah, I hit the guy up and I'm like, I understand it's broken. Does the top light up and shit? And he's like, oh no, everything works. It's just like a couple of things. And I'm like, oh, bro, sold. I mean, I looked into the legality of it first because that was the other thing. Like, man, do I have to be like licensed or
To
some
have
shit
an ATM?
to
Yeah,
own
right.
an ATM? No. No, you can buy them shits on eBay. They're like $1,000 if it's
That's
working.
crazy.
But yeah, got it home. Went to work with the screwdriver because, as you said, super heavy. But I emptied it out. I got it down to like 150, maybe 200 pounds.
Wow.
Which is like still heavy,
Yeah.
but like manageable now, right?
Sure.
And luckily enough, was very pleased that my family was willing to go along, and like my kid and my wife for the leg shots.
Yeah.
We're happy to go along and be an extra set of hands to help me like get it in and out. I think it probably helped that this was all like around my birthday.
Oh,
So they were
okay,
like, well,
sure.
we have
It's
to be
your
nice to him on his
birthday.
birthday. So we're going on a hiking trail with an ATM.
Oh
Okay,
my
Dad, here we
God.
go. Yeah, but so it all worked out. I mean, so far, everybody has been pretty happy with it. I've gotten a lot of people saying very nice things about it, which I mean, I guess is when you're sharing your art, that's all you're hope for, is that it brightens up somebody's day, or that they that it evokes some kind of feeling for them, and that seems to have been happening. I don't usually like revisit stuff. Like when I did the trash can thing, a couple of people were like, "You should do that a lot. You know, you should do the
like
trash
make it a
cans
thing.
thing
Yeah.
and make it a thing." But like, I get super bored super easy,
Sure.
and I don't want to be like tied down to anything. You don't want to like really be known. I
As the
don't think
trash can
for
guy?
just one thing, you know,
Sure.
I'm sure you can identify with that because
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, like I said, you have so many different interests and so many different directions. So I didn't want to like just be the trash cans with friends guy. And so I definitely for the first time with the ATM, I'm like, well, maybe I could revisit. Maybe there'll be round
is
2
cool,
coming.
man.
Yeah, you know, we'll see what's up with it. But yeah, it's been fun.
And the funny thing is, like, you know, just going through some of the comments, like, after reading this whole caption, I'm still uncertain if you actually brought a real ATM around. Now I need to get on Marketplace and start shopping for something strange. And your reply, it's definitely real. And yeah, honestly, I think you should. Having little photo projects to work on instead of just driving around looking for something cool to shoot really changed how you feel about the craft. It's like, that's cool, man. But also be careful though. You can kind of go nuts and then you end up with a backyard full of neon signs and statues and ATMs. And then he said, you think I'd learn a lesson from that, but nah, I'm going to meet a guy about a slot machine tomorrow.
Yeah. The slot machine may be coming. Maybe I'm going to shoot the slot machine and the ATM together.
Oh,
I don't know.
That
Like
would
they're
be
going to be
kind of
friends.
funny. That'd be
you
funny.
know, because one of them is for you to take the money out, and the
And
other
then
one is for you to give the
lose
money
the
back.
money.
Yeah, you know. So they kind of it's like salt and pepper.
Or
right?
if you did it, you could do it in Vegas because Vegas is like empty right now.
For real. I was actually there for
That's
punk rock
crazy.
bowling in the spring.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And dude, like I barely recognize Vegas.
It's
you know?
wild because I was listening to a podcast and they were, the person was like an economics expert and they were saying like Vegas is our canary in the coal mine. So like in 2007, Vegas went like vacant, like everybody left because people didn't have the extra income to spend on like Vegas or tourism or anything, and Vegas is like the most touristy, waste your money type of place.
Real.
And then in 2008, economic collapse. So now we're seeing this kind of happen again, and so like it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost, like, you know, Vegas is letting us know that if it's bad there, it's about to be bad everywhere, you know. And like we've had, you know, the jobs report that just came out is just like the first time it's been negative since COVID, and like that was also during Trump's administration. Not to get political, but like I was just before we got on here was just listening to somebody talk about like the jobs report and like how bad it is right now. It's like it's just interesting, but I think it could be a cool, interesting idea to like, if you do the slot machine thing, to do it in a place like that where it could be so like profoundly interesting. And also in Vegas, or outside of Vegas rather, I explore abandoned places. That's like my lovely little
the urbex thing.
Yeah. I love it. But in Vegas, there's a place called the Wheel of Misfortune. It's an old mine, but they're like circular concrete. I don't even know what they are, but they're just big concrete circles. And they've got like a post in the center of them, and they look like giant roulette wheels, but people have gone out there and spray painted roulette wheels into the circle.
That's what's up.
So it's literally called the Wheel of Misfortune, and there's like 3 of them, but there's like 7
Oh my god,
total.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's
that
crazy.
looks cool as hell.
It's crazy, but I feel like you could do something sick there with your slot machine. You know what I mean? Like there's
dude.
so much opportunity for like creative stuff there, and it's like very. I mean, I don't know how heavy a slot machine is. Probably similar to an ATM. But it's definitely like maybe like a half-mile trek off the road. But I mean, if you got a dolly, you're gonna be all right. And it's like
bad.
Nobody gives a shit. It's next to like I don't even know what the place. It's like a camping, like an REI type of place, or like, you know, RV world or whatever. But it's really cool. I'll send you a pin to it if you want to like do some more research.
Absolutely, I am
dope.
always down for finding new spots, and honestly, like the urbex community, you know, for me is just like this like little hidden gold mine. Like I follow a handful of people on there. Online Abyss on Instagram. She does like a lot of every spot that I see her post. I'm like, oh, where's that bank? Oh God, where's that hospital? Is that real? You know, it's another one of those like, is that real? Because I want to. But the problem is like a lot of the places that urbex people go is one of those places. Well, you know, maybe trespassy kind of thing.
Most of the time it is,
and that's chill if it's just you with a backpack and like a headlamp and a GoPro and shit like that. I'm rolling through with like slot machines and ATMs. Like, hey, be quiet, dude. When I shot that the shot of the ATM in the water, that was at Lake Elsinore, in which is like kind of east of LA's like Inland Empire.
Wait, and what's the Salton Sea? Is that?
It's close there.
Okay.
It's, maybe an hour away from Salton Sea. Lake Elsinore actually is I'm telling you everything that I found out from the guy whose land I trespassed on, by the way. Lake Elsinore is a natural lake. It's a shallow lake, which actually is why it worked out well for my photos. But I guess Lake Elsinore is the largest like natural lake, I think, in like Southern California or something like that. So, but like I scouted, right? Like I tried to do my little like location scout shit for this shot. I knew I wanted a shot of it in water. My original plan was like, oh, I'll just take it to like the beach. I'll take it to like Leo Carrillo Beach. And then, like the semantics of that shit set in. Like, oh, dude, so you're gonna like drag that shit across like whatever, like 30 yards of sand out into the ocean. And I'm sure nobody's gonna gawk at you for that, bro. I'm sure that's not gonna turn into a police visit. And so then I started thinking, well, I'll do a lake. But around the same time I was shooting that, a lot of the lakes close to me in LA County have like wildfires right next to them, so I couldn't roll up to them. So I started like looking inland, and I found a couple of reservoirs, but again, kind of was a little sketchy on wanting to do the trespassing on municipal property thing. So I saw Lake Elsinore, and I was like, oh, that looks really good. It looks, the other thing you're looking for is like a gentle approach, pretty much, right? So that I can get the ATM out in the water. I don't want anything where it's just like rocks and then there's water and it's like 7 feet deep, because I'm just gonna drop the ATM in like some sort of like machinated tea bag and just be like, okay, buddy, you live here now, you know.
Goodbye.
So yeah, peace. So I saw that lake and I was like, okay, but that's like just far enough away from my house that I should spend the night there. So I got like a hotel room down there, and I drove down there with the ATM, and when I got there, it was like kind of just before the evening, and so I did like a loop around the lake, and I realized that like 90% of that lake is private property. It's like people's houses, like, and they all have like very nice, shorefront property, which I'm sure is quite enjoyable for them. But also that again created the circumstance of like, okay, well, where am I going to shoot this thing without trespassing? So I found a spot that I thought looked good, and when I went there in the evening, there was like one guy there and he was fishing, and I was like, and he had like a little tent and shit, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to come back at like 5 a.m. because I want it to be cloudy. I want to get the marine layer. So like, I don't have to worry about that dude at all. He'll be gone when I come back. So then the next day, woke up, it was cloudy, everything's fine, got in the car. It's not like I had offloaded the ATM, it was already in the car. So rolled down to that spot, and there was like 9 people there fishing. Apparently fishing people get up super early in the morning. So good on that. I guess maybe that's when the fish are super active or something like that. Either that, or it's just like a bunch of like people who are like, no, I'm a morning person. This is when I do my shit, bro. So I didn't want to like be the dude. When you move that ATM, it makes like a lot of noise. It's mostly metal cabinet. So I was like, well, if I wheel the ATM out in the water where these people are fishing, like, and dude, I'm gonna have to like knuckle with like 9 dudes who are all dressed like the villain from I Know What You Did Last Summer. So like I was not in the mood to do that. So I hopped back in the car, did another loop around the lake. At this point, it's like 5:30 in the morning. Found a plot of land that like was gated off, but there was enough room for like a human to pass through. Like the gate was one of those like car only gates, and it said no trespassing in like 3 places. But I looked at my wife. I'm like, let's just do it. And she's like, it says no trespassing. And I'm like, we'll just be quiet. Yeah, me being quiet. Dude, this thing is like clang, 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 clang. It sounds like if you gave a washing machine like 3 hi-hats and we're just like, fall out, buddy. You know what I mean? So
and it's like it's like the 2 o'clock in the morning, you need a snack, but everything you do is loud.
yeah. It was that moment of like, and I'm sitting here like with a straight face, telling her like, "You need to be quiet. Come on, let's like." So got it out in the water, and here comes, a dude who was in the water for like 3 minutes, and here comes this old dude like walking up the beach towards me, because it was like a small plot of land between two houses, and this dude was, I was like, okay, well, I tried to get off like 4 or 5 pictures, and I was like, because this dude's gonna come up and tell me to fuck off. And this dude came up with like the biggest smile. He's like, "Welcome to Lake Elsinore.
Oh my God.
This is so cool, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a couple pictures real quick." He's like, "I own this land. You have all day. You can shoot however long you want." Like, he was so accommodating. Shout out to Tim in Lake Elsinore for being the homie.
Let's go, Tim.
And like, this dude stood there the whole time and talked to me, and he told me all the like how he collects hats and shit that wash up on the shore from like people who lose their hat like water skiing and shit. And I was like, "What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen wash up on the shore?" And he was like, "An ATM. What do you mean?" He was a super chill guy. He even gave me some hats, Kay. He took me up into his house and showed me his whole hat collection, and he gave me like 3 or 4 hats. One of them says I'm a weekend hooker, and it has fishing hooks on it.
Oh my God.
So it was like, dude, it was so good. And it was like one of those moments where I was like, he was like, "Why do you do this?" I get that question a lot. "Why do you do this?" And it was for that moment. It's like for that adventure, it's for meeting you, Tim, like, and getting my weekend hooker hat. That's why I do this,
Holy shit. That's what a guy, Tim.
Right? Yeah.
Oh my
I'm sure
God.
that's like, you probably go through that with the touring and stuff like that. Like, it's just, are you there for the adventure, you think?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I love walking into a gas station and getting the, "Y'all in a band?" Like, dude, come on.
Do you ever lie, or you're like, "No, we're plumbers"? Yeah.
No, but I'll definitely lie about the band. Like, we'll like say some weird, like, we'll be like, "Yeah, we're Nirvana," like just
Metallica.
the Beatles. We're back. And we're emo. And
I'm John.
Here we are, reincarnated as the Beatles. No, it's very funny. But sometimes I'll like say the band name, and then especially I just joined the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus recently, so like it's a very recent thing. So I'm still getting used to like that. But like I'll go to a gas station or whatever. Like we went to my high school that I like briefly was at before my family moved overseas.
Okay.
But we were in my hometown on tour, about to play a show 2 days before school was back in session. So I was like, let's just roll up to the school and see if we can like film on campus, just like we're doing like a documentary or whatever, like behind the scenes of touring. And so we go, ring the little buzzer, because everything's like super secure nowadays, because God forbid the fucking state that our country's in. It's horrible. But anyway, so we get in and, go into the acting principal's like office area. And I'm like, "Hey, I went to school here. I'm in a band. I would love to film like on the football field. I was in marching band, blah, blah, blah." The principal's like, "Oh, what's the band called?" And I was like, "Oh, the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus." She was like, "No way. I was just listening to you guys last night. Please come on. Let me give you a shirt. Let me give you." I'm like, "Oh my God." But like,
get that VI. You're like, "Yeah, I'm important. See, that's what's like. Yeah, let me in. Hold on. Let me talk to the kids. And I'm the success story.
I'm like,
Here we go.
I'm like calling my mom. I'm like, "I made it. I have peaked in life." Like, the funny thing is, like, I'll like go wherever. Like now, like in the town I live in, I'll like go to the fucking grocery store and be like, "Oh, what up, Rockstar?" And it's like, oh my God, I need to move to Italy where nobody knows me.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
It's definitely
but I mean, but that whole thing makes it worth it, right?
Yeah, like the meeting people, and like the cool thing is like, I did photo video for Red Jumpsuit for 5 years before I like joined the band. So like Justin was their like OG photographer, and then he moved to Hawaii and kind of like passed the job on to me, right? So I kind of like took over that position and toured with them for 5 years. And then now I'm in the band, but like being the photographer and doing video and like behind the scenes, like you're like kind of interacting with the crowd, but like not really. And now that I'm in the band, people are like coming up to me, like telling me like, "This band saved my life." Like, their individual stories. Like, I was in the military, and like Guardian Angel is like my shit.
So cool.
Like it's really cool like seeing that side. But I was talking to Ronnie on one of the drives. I was like, it's amazing hearing all these stories, but like at the same time, I'm realizing that like there was an incident at a show. It was like, you know, we were meeting some people and there was this really drunk guy that like came to say what's up, and his girlfriend or wife or whoever was like kind of hidden behind him, like real shy, and like he was like, let's get a photo. And then we were like to his like girlfriend or whatever, we're like, do you want to be in the photo? And she's like, no, it's okay. And she like looked down and kind of like walked off. And I was like, this dude's for sure like a piece of shit at home, but like loves face down. Like the fuck is going on? And so I told Ronnie, I was like, after that incident, that was the first time I've experienced something like that. I was like, I'm realizing that like we can't save everybody. Like you just can't, you know, like people are going through shit, and like this band, it helps a lot of people and has, you know, their music has helped get people through shit, but like we aren't going to be able to save everybody. And he was like, yeah, but he said, the old analogy of like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. Like we can give them the information on how to get help and get out of situations, but we can't do it for them. Like they have to.
What are you gonna do? Punch the guy in the face?
Like in front of everybody. Like
my
you
red
piece of shit.
Bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, coming to kind of terms with that is like, you know, kind of interesting, because I've never had it. Like my band Chasing Satellites, like it's nerdy space music. I'm not helping shit. Like I'm just writing about the cosmos in like metaphorical terms. You know, it's like not that deep. You know, but you know,
I'm sure that's connected to a lot of people.
Yeah, hopefully astronauts and SpaceX engineers, because that's my demographic.
That's what's up. What's up.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how like art can like means different things to different people. You know, like you're out here doing these cool photography projects, and you know, to you it's a way to like get out of the house and go do something creative, but like to people that are seeing this, you know, it's definitely going to inspire people to like also get out and go do creative projects like this. And like it's just fucking cool how art can transcend past like what you do to it or what you create.
I mean, you create it and you put it out in the world, and it has ripple effects that you will perpetually be unaware of.
For sure.
And I've never like ceased to be surprised by it, especially like, I mean, dude, you have a lot of creative endeavors. You're a photographer. You do the drone thing.
Yeah.
You're a musician. So you probably have more experience with this. For me, like I'm literally a boring software guy. And this is like my only creative endeavor. My only other hobby is saying extremely mean things to people on Xbox. And so like this is the only thing I do that has those ripple effects. So it's still like I'm kind of like generally unprepared when people are like, I love your art, because I'm like, art?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that dumb shit I do with the camera? Oh, yeah, it's art. Sure. I mean, but like sometimes people are taking like a meaning out of it that like I didn't even think of, or that I didn't, you know, curate. So now like I'm trying to have more consideration about that. Like, oh, you know, maybe there should have some meaning there. Like definitely with the ATM thing. Another thing that made sense was like talking about how the ATM is just like digital cash has taken over our lives and ATMs are everywhere. And so definitely part of that project was just kind of commentary on that. But at the same time, I don't like want to tell people, well, here's how you should feel about this. Here's what this should mean to you. Because you have more of those ripple effects if you just let people interpret the art on their own. You know, something like a picture of a long hallway might be creepy to me, but for somebody who has a really chaotic life, who's just looking for something peaceful, that might be a peaceful moment for them. And so I don't want to take that away from them by like, you know, yucking their yum and being like, no, the hallway's creepy. It's creepy. You should feel creepy about it, you know? So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, generally I'm still kind of unprepared to be thought of as an artist. A lot of that also is that like my kid is an artist, and my kid like went to art school. They have an MFA. They're a very accomplished painter. They've been in galleries, and I look at the work that they put into and the passion that they have for their art projects, and that to me is art. And my kid will be like, oh no, you undersell yourself. A lot of different things are art, but I still like I guess I'm gatekeeping in my own mind that
Mm.
like well if I'm not putting in the amount of work that Beck's putting in then like I'm not really doing art. But yeah, I guess it is somewhat you know
Yeah. I mean,
I mean
absolutely.
it's trash cans but it's
But
art.
it's
Yeah.
fucking cool,
Yeah.
man. It's
Yeah.
a creative way to look at trash cans. Okay, like it just is, and like it's not just the images. I think a lot of what makes the connection with people. I mean, me personally as well. Like obviously the photos are great and the concept is really cool, but like your captions like they're just different because you could just be like, here's some trash cans or like fucking a dumpster emoji, but like you're telling a story, like beyond just the images. And I think that's like, a lot of the comments in your comment section is people interacting with the captions or like asking you like creatively, like, how did you get this ATM to light up like in the water? Like how does this make sense? And like,
Yeah.
it's just, you're doing it in a different way. And I think that's what like draws people to it. And it's just fascinating that these are your ideas that are like just invading your brain and you're like, I need to do this. It's like that. Another photographer that your stuff kind of reminds me of, obviously very different, but still like thinks of a creative idea and then like executes it to completion. Like you see it all the way to the end. Because a lot of us have ideas, but we're just like, whatever, like cool, whatever. But there's this guy, I can't remember where he's from, but his name is Ramsey Kiefer. He has a YouTube channel. And one of his videos, he does this like series called Sunday Strolls where he'll just like kind of, do a photography walk around thing. But sometimes he'll do like creative projects. And so he did one. I'll send you the link after this, but he does like a behind the scenes video with it. So this video is called My Insane Attempt at Making a Cinematic Photo. And he basically, right after Christmas one year, he took all the trees from the people throw their trees away, right? So they put them out by the curb. He just collected like hundreds of trees from his like area because like people don't want them. And so he brought them out into like a salt flat area and then like planted them. And then he found like an old car and he found a friend of his that's like that he could use as like a model. Puts her in like kind of like a trench coat or like whatever, like a long jacket, and hands her a pistol. And she's like holding this pistol like under her arm, and this car's like the headlights are illuminated behind her. And then they set all the trees on fire.
That's so cool.
They set them all on fire. And
that's so cool. I could never get away with that in Los Angeles, by the way. But super jealous.
For sure.
Yeah.
He went to like I don't know, maybe the salt flats in Utah, or I feel like he's Canadian, but anyway, regardless, he finds like a flat salt flat area and like sets all these fucking trees on fire in the middle of nowhere because like nobody cares. And he's shooting on film, so he's got like one shot, right? Like it had to be set up perfectly. He had to do test shoots, like everything. He had to figure out how to burn the trees properly to make them all like engulf at the same time. So they're like spraying them with fucking kerosene and shit. And they have like flame torch. It's insane. But like to see the final image, you're like, damn, I'm glad this guy like saw this insane idea through, because like the result is incredible.
Right? Yeah. And I mean, that is the one thing that like, I guess I didn't think about going into it, but I'm aware of it now, is that there's more work that goes into like the planned out stuff than I had anticipated.
Right.
Originally photography for me, like I said earlier, was just like me cruising around with the camera and being like, oh, that sign looks really cool. Super into like minimalism. So if I see something that's just like, oh, that's a cool minimal composition, like take out my little camera and take a snap of it and be on my way. I wasn't prepared when I started like following through with some of these more like complex ideas that I wasn't prepared for. Like, oh, like the first time I look at the photos, I didn't like that as much. I could have had that sign up higher, or I need more glow on that, and like how much experimentation was going to go into the process of having it be perfect in my mind when it came out. So like what you're telling me about, like, oh yeah, spraying the trees with kerosene and stuff like that. Oh yeah, definitely went through a bunch of that. Definitely went through a bunch of like, I don't like this. Like I did this thing with the neon signs. There was so much of like, I don't like that sign in that place. I'm going to drive all the way back to Hollywood and go all the way down to that parking garage and hang that sign up on a different pillar so that I can reshoot it. Yeah. Like, yeah, there's, the perfectionist comes out in you and that becomes a beast. Again, like big shout out to the people who do like all the cosplay and stuff like that, because they, I'm assuming, have like so much that they have to go through, like with makeup and all that stuff to get that thing perfect. And I can't imagine, you know, going through all that setup and then looking at the final photos and being like, you know, camera should have been 18 inches to the left there. You know, but I mean, I guess that's part. Do you go through that with music? Is there like, you know, you hear the guitar part or your screaming part, you're like, I could have screamed louder there. Let's do it again.
And like, if, you know, like, great example is So Red Jumpsuit has an album coming out, and they have a song called Slippin' Through, and it's like, it was a single for the record, right? But I joined the band after they were done. Like, the album's already done, right? So I'll be on the next album, which it'll be in whatever, 2 years or whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care. But Ronnie hits me up because I did like a reaction video to the song, and this was like right before he asked me to join the band. I did a reaction video to that song on YouTube because I do that as well. And I like added.
I'm shocked.
I like added screams into. There's like a breakdown in the song with no vocals, and I was like, there should be screams here. So I just like off the cuff, like live, just added screams to the song, and then like posted it, whatever. And he hits me up. He calls me like right after he asked me to join the band. He calls me. He's like, "Hey, are you at your computer?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you have your like SM7B mic?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you record those screams on the song? I'm going to send you the WAV file." I was like, "Sure, what?" So I just did it and sent him the files. And then like 2 days later, he's like, "Cool, label approved. Thanks. It'll be on the record."
You're like,
I was like, "Wait, can you send me the like mix? Because like I don't, you know." So he sent me the mix, and I was like, I wish you had let me hear it first, because like I want my vocals to like sound a certain. To me, it didn't sound like beefy enough, if that makes sense. But he's like, "It's great, you killed it," and I'm like, "Okay," but like in my brain, I'm like, I'm always gonna hear it like it's not big enough.
Yeah.
So yes, to answer your question, yes. It's an ongoing battle as an artist and musician, because we want perfection, but at a certain point, you just gotta let it go.
Yeah, that creeping perfectionist, like that to me is like the only downside of this. That, you know, that's the point where my kid is like, you know, you always say you're not an artist, but you have like, you know, you shot that picture of that streetlight in the rain, and you wanted to drive back to that intersection 3 times on 3 different rainy nights to make sure that you got it right. Blah, 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 blah. Like that's artist shit, dude. You just need to accept it. I'm like, I guess, okay, I'm trying to become comfortable with it. Yeah. But dude, I had a post, I don't know, like maybe a month ago or something, where I had like just a bunch of photos that I was like, these are all trash. I hate them. I hope they die. If these photos come to life, I will murder them. But then like over time, I looked at them again, and I was like, you know, months later, like, it's not that bad. You know, maybe there could have been more fog that day, but that's okay. And so I just like assembled a bunch of them together into one post, just like, you know, like, here's me barfing out all of my B-sides, you guys. And I wrote like in the caption, like, hey, you know, these are my photos from, you know, times that I took the shot and then just didn't like it. But then later on, I did. And does anybody else go through that? And the replies on that post were so heartwarming, because so many other people were like, "Oh, all the time. Oh my God, yeah." No, that really speaks to me, because I experience that constantly. Some people were like, "Oh no, well I go the other way. Like I look at my photos right away and I love them and I can't wait to show them to people." And then 2 months later, I'm like, I'm the biggest trash in the world. But it was great to realize that like I'm not the only one that has this sort of like antagonistic relationship with the things that I make. That's a super common experience. Like it's one of those where like, oh man, you rush and tell my family, look, I'm normal. Look, everybody else goes through the weird shit I do. I'm not the only one with mental illness. It's great. So yeah, weird times, dude. Weird times.
You know, it's that's just being an artist. You know, I tell people on stage, like, You know, we're just broken people like you. We just write music for other broken people. Like, that's the only difference. You know, like, we're fucking broken. You know, like, sorry about it. Like, I made a PSA a few months ago. I was like, hey, you know, metal music lovers specifically, just so you all know, like, most of the artists that you, like, idolize and look up to are just pieces of shit. We're just creative pieces of shit. Like, we all are assholes and we're all broken, and, like, I don't know why anybody's surprised. Like, look at the music we write and, like, the music we listen to. Like, we're also just messed up people. Some people are just more, like, evil and messed up than others, right? But
it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum, right?
It's a spectrum of fucked upness. We're all fucked up. But that's what makes art so beautiful and interesting, is that, like, it comes from minds that are flawed. And that's what makes it so great.
Yeah, real. I mean, like, I'm sure that there are people with less flawed minds that are out there making art, but I'm sure it's like that super bland, like, corporate art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
we'll let them stick to the Cracker Barrel redesign.
I hope that, like, there's not somebody who's listened this far into the podcast who's like, wait, I make boring corporate. Yeah. They're talking about me. I hate this guy.
We are. Fuck
you. Yeah.
I'm kidding. Please subscribe.
Yeah. Please subscribe to all socials, Mr. Corporate Art Guy. Love you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I would like to end this podcast on this. You said something in one of your captions that really resonated with me. And I think it just might be like $1 million idea. All right.
What's that?
It says, Dr. Pepper should have a sidekick named Nurse Spicy.
It would be, so this is another, like, little side hobby of mine that I send dumb ideas to brands and just see if they reply. Like, I hit up Little Caesars a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, you guys should have a slightly bigger large pizza and it should be called the Big Caesar. What do you think? Come on, you know. And so that was another one. Like, oh, there should be another Dr. Pepper, but it could be like Nurse Spicy, and it could be like a little Dr. Pepper, like just like one of those little bottles, those little grenade ass bottles, like they sell apple cider in, but like, it could be spicier,
like the Mexican Coke version of, or like the Mexican hot chocolate version of Listen, Dr. Pepper, Snapple Inc. that bottles Dr. Pepper, please, Nurse Spicy to the front.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. No, it needs to happen. Maybe at some point I will post, like, you know, just my whole litany of food items that I think should be created. You could probably make a whole
separate Instagram with just DMs to corporations with your silly ideas.
Yeah, no, it's because it's gotten out of control. It's definitely me hitting up Baskin Robbins and being like, how come ice cream has no bacon? We live in the future. Why isn't there ice cream with bacon? You know,
God. Does Canada get bacon ice cream? What's happening? What's going on here?
We've been tricked. I heard this was the greatest country. Yeah.
I've been told. Oh my God. Well, Chris, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. If people want to keep following you, let them know where they can find you online.
I am not a Penguin 7 on the Instagram machine, and Kate, I greatly appreciate it. It's been a wonderfully fun conversation.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to having more of them. You know, not on a podcast, like preferably on a photo shoot or something. You know, fun in person would be great.
That's what's up. We'll make it happen. Yeah.
Oh, I guess the last question is: are you planning on selling prints and or presets? Because I see a lot of people asking for both of those things, and I'm trying to get the answers that people want.
I think they're going to be disappointed.
That's okay.
Yeah, I feel bad. I mean, I have had a lot of very nice people reach out about it. I definitely, one of them, her name's Carol Hansen. She's a wonderful artist from New York. And she, like, on a lot of my posts replies, like, you should make a book, you should make prints.
Oh, a coffee table book would be sick, though.
But, like, that, I hate responsibility, dude, and that sounds like work. But you know, man, I'm not ruling it out.
Sure.
But right now it's quite a bit of responsibility for me just to like load the shit in the car and go out driving. So we'll see how it goes. But you know, I appreciate you asking. Yeah,
I mean, I would personally buy a coffee table book. As somebody that created 2 coffee table books, they are really cool. It just have a tangible, because I think people have forgotten that like printing your work is like the point. You know, or was the point back in the day. Yeah. I'm a big, like, print your stuff person. I didn't used to be that way, but now my entire house is full of like abandoned photos and rocket launch photos. So I'm just stoked. I just like printing stuff out. But it is, coffee table book. That was the first one I did. It was hard. It was hard.
Huh.
It's a lot of hours.
Do you still sell it?
Yeah. They're on my website. I've got 2 of them. But
I'll check them out.
They're pretty cool. They're all just abandoned places. One of them's more like stories of the explorations, and the second one is I collaborated with an illustrator from Portugal, and he literally it's called How to Explore Abandoned Buildings. It's like a silly guidebook, and it's like tips for bring bug spray, bring water, don't mess with homeless people. But this guy has illustrated depictions into my images of each tip.
That's so cool. I've got to check that out.
It's pretty tight.
I'm still learning a bunch of those lessons. I know we have to get off, but I just did a shoot in an abandoned place I don't know, last week, I think. And I walked up to scout the location, look inside, okay, this is cool. There's some abandoned cars and shit in here. Okay, let's go back down to the car and get Bonesy. Turn around and walk back down to the car. Big ass rattlesnake.
Oh yeah.
Just right in the middle of the path. And I mean, people have been like, "Hey, you should take a snake bite kit if you're just going out to abandon shit." It never
you don't think about it until
that was
it's
real.
There.
Yeah, and I was so taken aback by it that my first instinct was like, "Hey, look at that rubber snake right there." Oh, he's moving.
He's yelling at me.
That's bad. Yeah,
his butt's yelling.
Ran away like a total coward because if he's gonna bite me, he has to bite me in the ass. I'm not gonna hang out for that.
Yeah, rattlesnakes don't fuck around with that. Nope,
dude,
not
real.
Me. I will not be the one.
That's what's up. All right. Thanks a bunch, dude.
Well, guys, thank you so much for checking out this episode of Project Freelance with Chris, a.k.a. I Am Not a Penguin 7. Definitely check his stuff out online on Instagram. Hopefully one day he does some prints or a coffee table book or presets or something, because I know people are interested, but I love that he's for now, I just want this to be my hobby, my passion, my creative outlet. I don't need to monetize it, and I honestly respect the hell out of that. I think it's awesome, and I think more people should just do stuff for fun. I mean, for me, that's definitely my urban exploring stuff. I made books and photo prints, and I have shirts and merchandise and stuff, but that's my least profitable avenue of income. I just love it. I love the beauty and decay. I actually just bought something today that I bought it a few days ago, but it just got here, and I saw a video on Instagram, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember the guy's username because I was just so mesmerized by the actual video that I was like, oh my God, I need this. Basically, this guy bought a small guitar pickup contact microphone. You put these on guitars or ukuleles, violins, banjos, that kind of stuff. On the pickups, and it's just a contact. It's a sticky pad microphone. You could just stick it on the guitar and plug it into a XLR cable or whatever your recording device is, and you can get this beautiful audio from it. So I just bought a 2-pack of those from Amazon. They're really inexpensive. They're a 1/4-inch jack, and then you can get the 1/4-inch to XLR or whatever you're using to record. Basically, this dude on Instagram took one of these microphones, contact microphones, and stuck it to a tree and recorded the sound of the tree, moving in the wind and it creaking. And it was so beautiful and mesmerizing that I was like, oh my God, I've made videos like this in abandoned buildings where it's just camera on a tripod and a door is swinging open and creaking from the wind flowing through this abandoned hospital that I was in at the time. And when I saw this video, I was like, oh my God, I believe fully that abandoned buildings carry memories. I think they have souls inside them, right? Whether it be haunted or whatever, within the walls, within the bones of the building, if you will, the skeleton of the building. I feel like they speak, these abandoned places, especially the darker asylum type places where some dark stuff's probably most likely definitely happened. And I was like, oh my God, I could get one of these contact microphones and start recording the sounds of abandoned buildings, just existing and falling apart. So I just bought 2 of those. Very excited for that creative side to kind of flex its muscles and just kind of see what I can get from it. Maybe it's nothing, maybe it's everything, but it's definitely unique. I haven't seen it done in abandoned buildings, so looking forward to using those to see what I can get. And I'm going on tour soon, so whenever I travel to different states, if I have time, I'll try to go out and explore Just depends on like where I am and like the accessibility and the time. Sometimes I just don't have time. Like we were in, where were we? We stayed in Cleveland and, well, outside of Cleveland, but there was like an abandoned place relatively close to where we were staying. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go check it out. And then just like was so tired that I was just like, I need to take a day off and like chill. So I didn't do it. Now I have regrets because it could have been sick, but whatever. Moving forward, going to be testing these acoustic contact microphones out just to see what I can do. But I'll link those down below. If anybody's interested in like trying this out yourself, I'll link them down below. There's a bunch of other products that I recommend for like freelancers or photographers, places to get job opportunities, Facebook groups, things like that. If you want to check that stuff out, awesome. Otherwise, thank you guys for tuning in to Project Freelance. I will talk to you in the next one. If you want to come on the show, my email is down in the description. I would love to have more people on to tell their stories about how they built their businesses. And yeah, if you guys like the episode, please leave a rating and feedback. It really does help me find a broader audience of amazing creative people just like yourselves. So yeah, give it a share, give it a rating, give it some feedback, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Stay strong, keep enduring, go out and go create something. See you guys.